This is the word to go, yo.
Oh, boy, you guys, it's a special day. Our BFF, Mickie James, hardcore country, baby.
Oh, yeah.
It's her birthday. It's her birthday.
Happy birthday.
And I hope you, I know.
James.
And it's her greatest hits, you know? And we love you so much, Mickie. We love you.
Oh, I love you guys too. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. You know, and don't forget on this special occasion, don't forget to hashtag that thing and likey it down there.
Yeah.
Down there. Don't
Hit
forget
that
to
like
likey.
button.
Mhm.
Most important.
Especially for my birthday.
Yeah.
Especially for your birthday. You have to.
Like
There's
this.
your gift. Mickie,
Yeah.
there's your gift.
Subscribe
from the
even
fans.
for my birthday. Put a nice bow on it with the subscription.
Boom.
Exactly. And don't forget to what's my subscribe, because that's important. It
Uh-huh.
means that you guys are following us and you love us, you know, and
I don't have a bell. This is way better than a bell.
Hey, no, I didn't do the bell yet.
I know.
The finale is the bell icon. Go ahead. There you go, Val. Do that.
Yeah, there it is.
Whoop, there
Up
it
in
is.
there. Oh man.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
Oh,
Mickie,
I'm
I
on a
love
sword
you
right
so
now.
much. We're so proud of you, of all the accomplishments you
Oh, stop.
attained.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. You know, we're not going to
Cut.
stop on your birthday. We refuse. That's a big hard no from us here at GAWTV. It's Mickie's birthday palooza. It's Mickie's greatest hits. And of course, we want to give a special shout out to all of our amazing patrons on patreon.com/GAWTV. If you guys want to support the show, you can, of course, go there and get all of our extras, all of our exclusives. Big shout out to our top tier members from the month of August, which is now ending. Big thank you to Aaron, Leonard, Randy K, Lisa, who's a brand new member. Not you, Lisa, different Lisa. Another new member, Henry, Griffin, Mickey D, and Thorsten, who's all the way in Germany. So thank you guys.
Wow.
Lots of top tiers.
That's
And we're so
amazing.
excited to have you guys. Yes. And it is your last chance. Just, you know, not to scare you, but you should be a little afraid. It's your last chance to get this month's top tier prize, which is not one, not two, but 3 signed photos of me.
Yep.
As your
Literally
top
the
tier
last
guest.
day, because you know it's the last day of the
It
month.
is the last day.
Yeah. We'll honor it until like midnight Eastern. Let's put it that way. So after
Yeah,
this, make sure you're
nice.
signed up to patreon.com/GAWTV. The gift this month, we change it up every month, is 3 autographed photos from myself, personalized from me to you. Maybe a little kiss print, you know, why not if we're feeling sassy?
Wow. Wow, that's an extra. That's
It is.
extra.
It is.
Wow.
Just don't mind the surcharge. I'm kidding. It's free of charge. All of our top tier gorgeous patrons, all of our gorgeous ones. Only the top tier gets that. Like Mickie said, the last day to do that. And then next month, it's going to be a special gift from the birthday girl, Mickie James. More of that to come next week. But Mickie, happy birthday. We love you, as Lisa said, and we're so grateful that this ended up being on your actual birthday. How cool is that?
Unbelievable. Yeah. Thank you. I know. Timing. Timing. And I was trying to skip my birthday this year and you all wouldn't let me, especially when it was like, no, it actually falls on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So you don't have a choice. And I was like,
Yeah. I'm
okay.
excited for your reading with Mel.
I'm
Beyond
very
the
excited
Veil.
for that too.
Yes.
I'm excited for that too.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've talked to Mel too. Like, I mean, I go back and forth with her on like WhatsApp or whatever, but it's like to sit down and like really chit chat with her.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for everyone going into our GAWTV store and buying all the merchandise. Pixie, I want to go ahead and talk about the GAWTV store. I know we were joking, but we're not joking. It floats here below.
Yes.
And also hello to everyone in the live chat today. And thank you for being here for my birthday. It means a lot to us. You know, we're always here live in the chat at 5 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday. Lisa, Val, and I will chit chat it up as we're watching along with you. So yeah, there is that.
Yeah.
Shout out to her legacy. Subs, which are doing really, really well right now. Very excited about that.
Mickie.
And tomorrow night on Impact Wrestling, I have a big announcement, a very, very big announcement. And I'm just going to tell you, I get a little emotional and it was special. It was very special. So I hope everyone tunes in to Impact Wrestling on either the Impact Plus app or wherever you watch Impact Wrestling. And if you don't, please tune in for me because it's my birthday. And then it'll actually be the day after my birthday. And it's pretty special to me. So yeah. And then that's it. That's all my plug skis. Oh, and I leave for Wales on Thursday.
So, Mickie, Impact Wrestling, we did know that you were going to make a big announcement, and we got a whole lot more than we bargained for at Impact Wrestling. And for those of you that don't know, Lisa Marie, myself, and Tracy Brooks will be back doing commentary for Bound for Glory in October. But my God, if there was ever a time to tune in to Impact Wrestling, it's right now with you, Mickie, for sure.
I love you. Thank you.
Totally.
No, seriously.
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
it was special. It was really, really special. And so I'm not going to give you any spoilers, even though, you know, this is our show here because it airs tomorrow. But I know we've talked about it, you know, but it was pretty special. And the crowd was amazing. And I just appreciate Scott and everybody for, you know, the time and all the things.
It's such a big,
things.
Yeah, it's such a great family atmosphere. And it's so nice to hear from you and from Giselle, who works with me here in Progress Wrestling in the UK. And everyone's consensus.
Oh, screw her.
Well, you know, hey, I wasn't going to say. So she's not coming on GAWTV. We've established that. She's not invited.
She's not invited.
Okay, that's fair. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. You'll block if you want to.
Yes.
It's my birthday and I'm block if I want to.
Block if I want to. Block if I want to. You would block
Very sad song. That's Susie's a real score.
It is.
Anywho, Susie and Johnny.
Harlot.
Listen, Susie, you're not invited either. But in all seriousness, I hear from Giselle and you and everybody, and Gail, of course, and everyone that's there, that it really is still a great atmosphere, a great place to work, and a very like female empowerment kind of place. So I love to do that.
Yeah. Well, it's just cool to have, you know, obviously Gail, you know, in charge of the division, but then there's other female voices in the room, like Christy Hemme is back, and she's working a lot with, you know, different sides of like the creative and then like helping people with their characters and stuff. And I just feel like there's a lot that, first off, we've always said, and I don't feel like I'm being biased in saying this, but I do believe that Impact has the best, not only do they have the best all around roster, but they actually give the women real opportunities in the sense of like they get equal time as the men's matches, and they get put in main event spots, and they get, you know, to be part of an X division or different types of matches that are usually, you know, pretty, and this is across the board at like other promotions too. I see the girls still not like getting one match on the show, and there's a lot of television. There's a lot of wrestling products. And so when, you know, for me, I feel like there's more than enough time to showcase your women and showcase them with respect and to showcase them properly. And so I just appreciate that Impact has always done that before it was even cool to do that. So
well said.
Yeah, well said. And it made us a fan again. Val, Tracy Brooks, and myself watching it and then commentating and not wanting to know what we do on the show. Oh, I bring that to every Comic-Con. Every Comic-Con.
In my Comic-Con bag, actually.
Put it in your bag. It helps.
You just said fan, and it just, you know.
Oh, that's my only one, actually.
Shout out to Ginger Minge. It's your only fan. It's your onlyfan.com. I got it.
It's my onlyfan.com.
Swat. I just learned how to swat.
.org.
.co.uk.
Oh my
.net.
Yeah. But just to say that Impact made us a fan again, watching it. And I don't like to get the card in advance because I like to watch it as a fan and react as a fan, but I have to know what's going on. And I don't enjoy that part. I enjoy watching it. And then just popping huge on like the moves these people do. Jesus.
Yeah.
Very intense. It's very exciting. And it's like, it's impossible to not have a good time watching Impact Wrestling. So again, if you guys are sleeping on the product, don't be that guy. Don't be that girl.
That's your fault. That's your fault.
Choices.
You
have a choice in entertainment. Looks like you made the wrong one. Unless you're tuning into GAW, then you've made the right one.
Wake up on a Thursday and say, do I want to be smart today or do I want to be stupid?
Bingo.
Which one?
It's very simple, as the birthday girl just said. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of enjoyment, we are here to count down the many, many greatest hits of Mickie James. Listen, it was a list we had to whittle down like a maple tree, my friend.
Really did.
We whittled the hell out of this list, and we are going to count down the top 10. If you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate you being here, but patreon.com/GAWTV, and eventually our podcast will get the full list. We're going to start with number 10 because Mickie, again, honestly, it was a very long list to whittle down. You've done so many amazing things.
I know.
So many blessings in life. And we're just here to celebrate the good stuff, the positivity, and the essence that is Mickie James. So number 10 for you. Take it away, girlfriend.
Well, number 10, I think I'm just going to say is the start of GAWTV. I think, 2020, we started this show. And
Stop. Look at that.
You better quit it. You better quit it.
Better quit it.
But it really started, like, I think what initially started as something fun for us to do and just to kind of help us get through the pandemic and something we had talked about, it's just grown so much. And I think that we've met so many new people, but also got to really have some genuine conversations that we hadn't had with our friends.
Yeah.
And just kind of opened up a lot of just different things. And it made me like love and appreciate a lot of our friends on a whole different level, as you learn more about the real them. Because as you know, if you watch the show, we do talk about wrestling, but we talk more about like real life than we do about wrestling. Because God knows they're going to get that interview on Sports Keto or on ProWrestlingIllustrated.com, whatever. They're going to go to, mywrestlingopinion.com and they're going to get that interview. But we just it's cool to have like real conversations, authentic conversations with our friends.
Yeah.
And also too, I feel like every episode that all three of us are on, I learned something new about you guys.
Yeah.
I thought I knew everything about you guys, but I'm like, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
When did this happen? Where was this? Where was this? Yeah. So it's like, it's bonding us together. And we are sisters for life. It's like, it's stuff that we want to know about each other and stuff that we don't want to know about each other.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like if you want to tell them what you were telling us earlier.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Patreon.com, you guys. Patreon.com.
Literally, this is how close we've all gotten. We've always been close, but I'll tell you, Lisa and I told some stories that are not for television, not for YouTube, not for anything. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Not going to elaborate on that.
Just for us.
Elaborating.
Just for us. Sorry.
Just for us. Yeah. On Mickie's day of birth, we thought it'd be a great idea to tell her some graphic stories.
You're welcome.
I'll tell you that Lisa.
Happy birthday, Mickie. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
I literally said, I'm like, I can't even. We have to retell these stories because Lisa and I were on here first, and I said we have to tell Mickie because it feels wrong. It feels like I feel guilty.
I'm so glad you did.
Stories.
I'm so glad you did.
I'm sure that they'll be in your mind for a long time. Yeah.
Very embarrassing.
We are sexy gals. Okay, so thank you for that. GAWTV coming in at a spot
number 10.
Very appreciated. Yes.
Well, a 10 there, love.
Yes.
Yeah.
9, 10. It's French. Oh, Anthony's gonna be so mad at me because I just got the number wrong in French. Sorry. 9, 10. And now
she's better at French when she's kissing than when she's speaking.
True.
I'm good at French. From the mouth up. I don't know. God damn it. I made it weird. I'm just going to keep rolling on. Going to number 9, a very exciting one. So we have to talk about, we did call this Mickie's Greatest Hits for a reason. This is, a little nod to your cowboy hat, little tip to the cowboy hat, tip to your musician hat, because you're wearing so many hats. You're a Jill of all trades. But obviously your career as a musician and your music career is so impressive. And you released your first album in 2010, which probably seems like forever ago.
It does.
Gosh, you've done so many things in that genre and that realm. And you should be so proud. You opened for Montgomery Gentry. So tell us about that and what your music career has meant to you, because we're so proud of that part of life.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I did, because I think that it was something that I'd wanted to do for a very long time. And music was always something that I've always loved music. I've loved music as much, if not, it's just always, it's how I deal. I'll go listen to music. Like some people watch TV, I write and I listen to music. And, but yeah, it was something that I was really scared to even go after because I didn't think I was talented at it. And I didn't think I was any good at it because of someone else's opinion, not because of my own. And then those opinions or whatever, then became my own opinions of myself or
Oh.
of my own talent or ability. And so I just never pursued it aside, after I quit playing the violin, which it was like probably one of the catalysts on why I stopped playing the violin as well. Not only because it made me a big nerd in school and I was tired of being a nerd. And that one time that boy tripped me up on the bus and I took a face bump on my violin case.
Did you break it?
Anyway,
Did you break the violin?
What, my face or the violin case? No, the violin case was indestructible. No, my face, I've been selling for years,
That's so funny. I've always wanted to play the violin. I think it's like the most elegant, gorgeous, sophisticated thing.
It is.
Me too.
You as a kid, you were like, oh, I'm a nerd. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. I love playing it. I love playing it. I do think between me kind of going like, oh, I guess I'm not that talented at music, and then getting a little bullied on the bus and made fun of. And I was really in that weird, awkward 16-year-old stage trying to figure out who I am and trying to be cool and trying to fit in as much as one could fit in. And I just wish I could go back sometimes to that little girl and shake her and go like, you're so much cooler when you do not fit in. People that fit in are actually not the cool ones. They're the most uncool ones because they don't know how to be cool.
Yeah.
Right? Because they don't know how to
follow along, right? They follow along with the trends.
Little sheeps, right? Don't be a lion, not a sheep.
Yeah.
You learn that. See, I feel like I'm a lioness now, but I was anyway. So yeah, but the release of that album, and it was weird because it happened right before I got released from WWE, and it was this weird kind of whole growing phase, I think, for me, and it really launched that. But it also made me believe in myself, and when I met with Kent, it made me believe in myself. And this, I should have done it a long time ago, but I was so grateful that I did it, and because of it, I've had, done a single with the Yin Yang Twins. I did a single with our girls, Chapel Hart, who are on America's Got Talent right now and are freaking killing it. Make sure you go vote for them, by the way. Montgomery Gentry, open for them, open for Little Big Town, open for Rascal Flatts. Like, it's like so many, like, I opened for Chris Stapleton at the Kentucky Chicken Festival. Yes, that's a real thing. Yes, you can Google it. It's a real thing. The first time, and this is before he blew up. And I remember sitting there listening to him. That was the opening act, guys. And he blew my mind at how talented he was. And I was just like, oh my God, like he should. And I remember going like, he should be a star. Like, he's so good. And then six months later, that was the only name I heard in music. It was wild. It's wild how things happen. So yeah.
In this show, it's great to hear about different facets of our life. Yes, wrestling is a big deal, especially to all the fans who we love that like live and die and breathe wrestling as we all do too. But there's a lot of other things that go on in our lives. Like, for example, education is very important to Miss Mickie James, and you getting your degree in business is something that really meant a lot to you. So I'd love to kind of have you expound upon that and your education.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that there was genuinely, there are two sides of it. There was being an OBW and seeing a lot of my friends get released prior to even making it to television. Like, they had been there in Louisville for 2 years under a developmental contract. And I know a lot of people think, oh, that's great, you get to train to be a wrestler. Like, they don't realize that you're not really making a lot of money. And you're not making a lot of money when you're in develop. I know it's different now with NXT, but at that time you weren't really making a lot of money, right? You were making enough to be comfortable, so you didn't really have to have another job, but you weren't saving any money either. You were like, you were living paycheck to paycheck in a sense. And so and there was a point, especially after I was like, oh, I thought about quitting and I thought about different things, and I just was like, God, if I was to, and it was the first time that part of the doubt, besides of like, are you going to make it? I think it was the first time that once I had made it to WWE or got signed, that there was this like insecurity in the fact of, And I think it was right after a big thing of cuts. You know, they would always do the cuts in April. And usually, you know, when they would do the cuts at WrestleMania and they cut a bunch of people on the roster, they cut an equal amount of undergrad talent that weren't signed. So, and people didn't really know who they were. So it was just like, oh, but they just whatever. So I was like, oh man. But there was also another part of me where I honestly, like when I was in high school, I was trying to get the honors diploma. I knew my parents couldn't afford to send me to school. I knew I couldn't go to college unless I was going to go to community college and get the grants, which I'm still, by the way, paying off student loans. Still to this day, I'm on the payment plan, still paying them off, just chucking away like everybody else in America. But at the same time, I felt like there was a genuine piece of me that felt like a bit of a failure because it was something that I wanted to do. I wanted to get a degree. It was going to be the first, you know, my mom had went back to get a 2-year degree, an associate's degree at the community college. But I was going to be like one of the first females of like my line to go to college. And I really, really wanted it. And so I thought if I got the honors diploma, I'll get like some sort of grant and money and all the things. And yes, I'm Native American, but that doesn't qualify you to go to college for free. People think that that's not reality. There's only like a small amount of money that's usually per reservation. And usually, you know, 1 or 2 people get to go to college for free, you know, so it's all based off of just like any other grant or anything else like that. So there were just a lot of factors and I failed trigonometry my senior year. All my friends, their junior and senior years were getting out of school early because they, you know, you didn't have to take, and I was taking full days. I took, you know, all the sciences, all the electives, all the maths. But if you know me, I'm horrible at math. I'm not good. Like, I don't enjoy it. Never have. Always been a writer. I've always been an artist. I've never been good with numbers and it's not my thing. But you had to have so many maths and trigonometry was my last math credit. And I literally failed the class, my final exam, because I was not doing well in the class at all. I was barely getting by, like scraping, but I had like a D.
Is it because you're a senior and ready to prepare to get out? Or?
No, because I graduated with like 30 some credits.
Okay.
But for the honors diploma, you needed 4 maths, 4 sciences, so many language. So I took 2 years of French and 3 years of Spanish, all these, like you needed a certain amount of things. And I'd also taken music all the way from 5th grade, all the way to 10th grade. I'd also taken the art elective because I really I still love art, but I'd taken art from 5th grade all the way through my senior year. I took art. But they were just like different things that all accredited to this specific one. But the fact that I couldn't keep a good average on my math, but I couldn't even pass trigonometry without that math credit, even with all the other credits that I graduated with. It was like, so I didn't get the honors diploma. And I was so devastated. And I was like, oh, all this hard work. Everybody else is going home from school early. They're leaving at noon. I'm staying to 3:30 every day. Like, I was so devastated and so disappointed in myself. It was a blessing because had I went to college or done all that stuff, I wouldn't have fallen into wrestling and fallen in love with wrestling and had this whole other world. So sometimes we don't see the forest from the trees. However, I do think like it was important for me to go back and get my education because the minute that I got, and it was a lot of work because I was on the road going to school online the full time. But
can I tell you guys too? I would go, hey, Mickie, we're going out to eat. We're going out. She goes, I have to study. I have to go back to my hotel. And I'm like, oh God, come on. We're all going, come on. We're just eating. We're not partying. And no, I can't. I got to go study.
I got to go put my fill out this term paper. Yeah. Don't worry. I made up for it after I got my degree. I put in double time.
Good girl.
Clearly. Right. Yeah, but I also chose business, which is ironic because I hate math again. And there was a lot of math to do with business, but I chose business for my degree because I said we are our own businesses. And I thought that, you know, what I saw on the other side of the industry is in coming up the way that I did, where there were a lot of veterans and old timers or whatever who didn't plan for after wrestling, who didn't think about like what are they going to do after wrestling and how to make their money work instead of working for your money, make your money work for you kind of things. And it was like, it made put me in a very business mindset. And it also made me look at the wrestling business like a true business. You know what I mean? You know, like, out of it, I've been able to now, like, I opened my own record label so I can put my own music out, and I have distribution through Smith Music, but we're able to start GAW. We do all this. I've trademarked hardcore country and looking at stuff like that. I mean, there's just so many little things that, like, you know, you can just do. And we have her Legacy, or the Legacy Subs company, which is doing great. And just like little things of
branching off,
and being smart, you know, trying to create. You work so hard and you put your body through so much in the business and stuff, but it made me sad to see like a Virgil, you know, on the indies and see that he was really struggling. And I'm like, oh my God, like, it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, he probably made way more money than we ever made, you know, no offense, in the wrestling business, and with the manias and with all the stuff, you know, and I'm not burying Virgil here. I love you, Virgil. You're great.
We love you, lonely Virgil.
Little Virgil. But at the same time, it made me sad. And I was like, oh, I wish that they taught more people that the importance of that, even in developmental of like, but you know, it's a whole branding and how to use that brand and how to work that brand and make it work for you, because you spend all that time building that brand and making that brand.
Yeah.
You know,
it's so
my number one, sorry.
Go ahead, Lisa.
Okay, sorry. Number one advice to the new up and comers is like, save your money. You don't know when you're going to tear your knee or break your neck, and you don't know what you're going to do. Save your money. You don't need that freaking Bentley or like whatever. I'm exaggerating. I don't know brands.
No, but people buy some
but you need to save it.
Money.
Stupid.
When people have more money than sense, that's one thing. And I'm not going to name names of wrestlers. We'll save that for Patreon. People that have bought really terrible stuff with their money. Like, did you need that Flintstones pinball machine? I assume that you didn't. That's just vintage weirdness of your own.
Download that Wish app, Val. Download that Wish app.
Honestly, Mickie, I'm so glad that you touched on this, because I worry about this with young wrestlers. We could have an entire episode about this, which is why this is such a fascinating list, Mickie. So thank you for sharing, because some of these wrestlers that are younger, I think to myself, my God, if they had other skill sets, you know, I wish that they would have something to fall back on, a foundation, like you said, because it takes one injury and you're out, bro. Like, if you can't physically work, if you can talk, you can do commentary, you can do other things, you're a good host, whatever, or that's just my side of things, but just anything else, the business side, the production side, the ring crew, you know, a cameraman, creatively, there's so many other things you can do in wrestling. And I think people they have this myopic view of it. I have to be a physical wrestler. Yeah. And that's wonderful. And I hope to goodness that they all do that. But when they have an injury and they're out of options, which is really, really scary. So if you have this education mind like Mickie has, I think it's a really good thing to think about.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's where I kind of agree with the save your money philosophy, but I also don't agree with it, because I go like, then the money is sitting in the bank and the bank is making the money on your money, not you are making your money on your money. So there's that. But also I would rather, like, I kind of think about like, it's an investment and it's an investment back on myself or whatever. Because like you said, you could get hurt, but if you're smart and you know that you could get hurt and then you're out of work, I never worry about like making money, because money comes and goes, right? Like money, I always feel like I'll always make money. I'll always do that. And that's just my mindset. But I think that it's like the making the money work for you, and two, like, investing it in other things. One of those things is not hitting for that month, that 6 months while you're out, you are now, but that's okay, because your basket weaving business is doing fabulous, or whatever it is. It's like, you have, you know, those times can be almost like a cool reset, because then you can put some of that energy that you haven't had time to pour in. I think that everybody should have more than one thing going.
I agree.
I agree.
Trades. Yeah.
I agree. What I was saying about saving money, it's like, do you really need that jacket that you're going to wear once and that's it.
I do.
That's what I made.
do.
I mean,
really
I
need
did.
that.
And I
need
did
that
make some
jacket.
frivolous.
I made mistakes. I did too, Mickey. This is what I wish.
I
This
made some
learn from
bought
me.
a couple $500 pair of sunglasses that for me, I'm going $500 for these. Like, oh, but they're cute. And you know
Yeah,
what?
but they're the face.
Eve is over here buying a pair too, and this person, Kelly's buying a pair too. Oh, I guess if I should buy a pair too, so that way I feel like I'm cool.
I did. I was with you.
Yeah.
I was with you at that time. Yes,
And then I think back and I'm like, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like an entire like weekend of vacation, the way that I'm so frugal. People don't know that about me. And I'll tell you, like Mickey said, having investments is good. It's just like Monopoly. You got to put some money on that park place. You got to put money on that B&O railroad, and you never know what's going to come about.
Got to get that electric company, because you know what? Everybody's paying the electric company.
I'm always going back to jail. What the fuck? What am I? Sorry. What am I doing wrong here?
The electric
Like
company.
$200.
The electric company. Oh God, that's dating myself. Okay, so yes, love that, and that's again,
Yeah.
guys. You're welcome for the little education conversation. I loved that.
Number 7. What's number 7?
Number 7.
We're
So we're
only
gonna
on
talk
number
about
7.
lucky number 7, if you will. We're going to talk about the fact that obviously we're just talking about Impact and how amazing the Knockouts division is. And Mickey, you've had such a great run in Impact Wrestling, and your first Knockouts world title was on pay-per-view. Your main event match was Deanna in a Texas death match. And I wrote this down because I thought to myself, okay, so Texas death match. We know you have a cowboy hat, but this is something. This is the kind of match that Lisa and I don't like watching. A bit scary. So walk us through the process with your boots and your spurs, and what the hell were you thinking?
With the boots and spurs. Yeah, it was the first time that Texas death match. And I say thank you, because I do feel like this last, which is kind of what this announcement at Impact is all about tomorrow, is like this last whole run was so unexpected for me. Like I didn't expect any of it. And also it was so magical, because I felt like at a time when I had kind of been humbled in a sense and thought like, oh, maybe I kept fighting for this thing and kept saying like, oh, but I'm still got so much time and I still feel like I'm in my prime. And I know that I can work circles around everyone here, and that's not me being like I still feel like there was so many matches that we didn't even touch, that we didn't even do. I was like, God, there's so much we could do, but it was just had to like be like humbling of like, maybe they just don't see it in me or whatever. But a lot of those things of like, oh, but you've been on TV for 15 years. And so, we really want you to just elevate and help these other girls. And I was grateful, and I appreciate the fact that they trust my opinion or whatever. But at the same time, I was just kind of like, the old jokes, or then it was the fat jokes before, or like all those things. And I was like, do they really don't think like I'm that great? You know what I mean? Like why, whatever. And I think they started like really affecting my own psyche, and then to leave and still kind of feel that way, but then been given the platform for Empower. And that was such a magical night. I don't care what anybody says. And if anyone thinks that it wasn't magical, or they could take this like source of like something that was so special and try to diminish it in some way, then that's something wrong with them, right? Not me. Because it was magical and it was so perfect. And it really, I just think that I put all my purpose in that, like when I first left, and then I was going to be happy with that. I was like, frick yeah. And hoping it was going to be an annual thing or whatever. But then to come out and then get another championship run and be able to have these matches with some of these women who are considered like the cream of the crop, and the new standard bearers in a lot of ways. But to have like that Texas death match with Deanna, especially because it was the first time the Knockouts world title had ever been on the line for a pay-per-view event. And it was the main, well, not on the line for the pay-per-view. It was the main event. The first time the Knockouts world title was the main event for a pay-per-view ever, which is crazy to think, but it was pretty cool. And then that type of match, and I've had hardcore matches and I've had those, but it had been a long time, and so to like put my heart and my soul and my body through it, to go like, oh, you can still do this. But then not only that, but like to know that you can still do it on the other side of it. It was just, I have had a lot of cool tests in the last year. So yeah, It's been awesome. It's been
Well,
fucking awesome.
Well, you know, Lisa, like if you're watching on the visual, you know, we are a very visual show. You can see that I'm kind of giggling in the background because, and if you're listening on podcasts, you can't see that. But the point is, we have given Deanna so much heat, and it's never been so apparent. If you want to go back and look on patreon.com/GAWTV, plug, there is a pool party where we only refer to this poor girl as Deanna Puprazzo, language, because we were so hot for Mickie and we were so like pissed off for her and what this girl was doing. But in all, I will go on record by saying now, old poopy pants.
Our parade.
She really did, but we have to have her on at some point because honestly,
we do.
And people have asked. Well, looking back, it was an amazing.
We don't have to have
she's
her
an amazing
on.
Competitor. Yeah, but I just wanted to say that we've given her a lot of crap. But I mean, my God, literally. But that was an amazing display, and we're very proud of her and very.
That was disturbing to watch.
Incredible.
It was disturbing to watch. I just don't like my friends being involved in that kind of.
They shared that they shared from that Texas death match. They shared.
I just saw it.
And where I hit the thumbtacks, and I probably watched it. I think I sat there. I might have been 100 of those views. I sat there and watched it over and over again.
No, I watched it once, and I'm like,
I can't.
No. I can't either.
No.
You're too pretty.
You're just too pretty. Some people are just too pretty for thumbtacks. You can put that on a shirt, and I will totally back that. So we have to go to number 6, which we're talking about amazing monumental moments for females in wrestling. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and say, which I've said many times on this show, that I am honored to be with 2 of the best ever female wrestlers in the history of, ever. Okay, Mickie James, Lisa Marie Varon. And we have to talk about your cage match. Little cage match with little Lisa Marie Varon over here. Little GAWTV internal. Yeah. Main event cage match.
Looking at you,
what the hell, ladies?
Mickie, I put fake eyelashes for your birthday.
Oh, you're so sweet.
You can't see them. It's okay. I can't see
Lisa pulling out.
I can't see it past the ring light glare in your glasses there.
Yeah, I had the windows open. You couldn't see my face. I blended in with the background. But no, cage match says.
Yeah. I didn't put this up there too because I go, first off, I think it was us coming, me coming into TNA. You were already there. But
I still was new there too.
It was new, but also we wrestled a little bit on WWE, but at the time too, it was going more like we had some like the Halloween matches and stuff. Like we never really had a full on feud at WWE. Yeah. It's like, so it was the first time I really got to feud with you, but that match, I don't know, and I don't want to say because obviously I don't know the wrestling history as much, but I want to say it was the first time the women had ever main evented in a double segment, the show, and we were the main event, and it was just I don't know if they had ever had a cage match. I would assume that they'd had a cage match before, but it was certainly since maybe like indie darling Alexis Lurie days, my first cage match ever. Like it was like my first serious cage match. Yep. And I think it was also, there's a couple, there's different types of people in the business, but it reminded me too, because Lisa is so respected in the locker room. And it reminded me of why she's because we work through a lot of stuff, but a lot of people don't know this, but Lisa hyperextended her elbow about halfway through the match, and I wanted to go home, and I was like, oh man. And she really, like, if you go back and you watch it, there's this point where I go and I throw her over the top rope, and then there's like this much room, and we, obviously it's not like, so there's like this much room, and she went to go put her hand down and it hyperextended out, and then she literally could not use her arm, like that one arm, for the rest of the match. So she wrestled.
Mickie, do you remember seeing that video on like Sid Vicious when his legs would, like when he jumped off the second rope and his leg would, I did not want to look at my arm. I thought my arm
was
my body. I thought it was dangling from my body, and you guys were yelling at me, you and Earl Hebner.
I'm like, let's go. You're like, no.
Yeah. And you're like, I go, we have no.
Crazy.
I'm not rolling up. I'm not rolling up. And then Mickie was like kicking me. I was crawling up. I didn't know, like,
That's the only part that anybody would have ever known that something was off, was that, because I'm legit telling her to get the hell down. Like, no, I don't want to do this, because I knew her arm was hurt. And I'm like, I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want, you know what I mean? I'm like, no, get off. And she wouldn't do it.
Nope. And she was kicking me in the chest.
With all due respect to the prototype, you're half woman, half machine. You're resilient.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No.
Honestly,
it's freaking ego. And I'm like, we're doing a cage match and we're making it. And she's like kicking me in the chest hard. And she was supposed to kick me out. I'm gonna move on my stomach. And then you can see, if you watch it back, Mickie, when you go to the top to Lou Thesme, do you see, you can watch it back and you can see me go like this. Because I'm not gonna let you drop. I go, I got you.
I knew that part, because then it was like, it was that head scissors. Remember, I was going to give you the head scissors off the cage. And then after, I'm sitting here kicking her so hard, trying to get her off. And now I've blown myself up because she won't go off.
I wouldn't let go.
She wouldn't, like, no, we're freaking doing it. So I went to go scissors her and go. And then, but we were like weird, thing. And then her elbow and I think I was nervous because I was like, please don't hurt yourself more. And it was a little bit wonky. She almost turned it into a power bomb, didn't you?
No, I just wanted to make sure I caught you, because we didn't know, you don't practice that move. But I remember you landing on me and you go, I love you. And I go, I love you too.
I know.
And then I go, are we dark? And then lights went out and I go, then I started crying. Remember that?
That was on the finish, though. I was talking about the head scissors out of the corner off the cage.
I said, okay, go ahead with the head scissors.
Yeah.
What did you say to me? I don't remember what you said.
That was when I was trying to kick you off or whatever. And then we ended up going to, you were like standing up on the corner on the inside, and I, off the cage, went to go head scissors you, and it ended up turning into almost like a power bomb or something wonky. That's what I was talking about. But anyway, so we ended up doing that thing, boom, and then we go up to go climb up, and I'm like, are you sure? And she's like, God damn it, get up there. And then I remember going to the top of the cage, and I looked down, because I remember they asked us, if you remember, like, do you guys want to go over this earlier? Do you want to go through this throughout the day? And I was like, I feel pretty confident that if I go up there now, I probably will not go back up there.
Yes. Yeah. That's not a movie practice on freaking.
I feel like this is better. If I know she's got me, I know I would not have done that with anybody else. Like, I'm like, I know that she's got me and I'm going to go. I'm just going to do it in the moment. If I go up there now, I don't know that I'll go later. That's me thinking like I'm going to, and I got up there and I go like, I remember crouching like a little crouching tiger, hidden dragon.
Yeah. I remember that too.
Before I had to stand up, and I'm like looking down. I go, "Oh God, this is really high.
It's high. It's high.
So high." And then I go to stand up, and I go, "Oh, it's even higher. It's even higher."
Everyone looks like little ants from up here.
Remember me looking at you, and I go,
"She's gone."
Do it. We're finished.
No,
We're
listen,
finished.
This is one of those places in the show where Trey's gonna make a gif of you going. It's gonna be awesome.
Got you.
Yeah. And then and then Mickie was like, you okay? And then remember the doctor coming in? Do you remember us going to a bar that we can watch it by ourselves? And I go, that doctor's copying the filling. He's filling he thought I popped my boob.
Oh.
And he's filling my boob. Do you remember that, Mickie?
Listen, serious medical question. Was it the hot doctor?
It was.
He was so hot.
But he didn't ask me for my phone
I
number,
see him on
by the way.
Facebook. Not going to name him. There was a doctor at TNA that was like Dr. Feelgood. Lovely guy, very professional, but hot as shit.
Not Dr. Feelgood, and as in he would feel good.
He made me feel good.
Unless your name is Lisa, apparently.
I didn't notice that because I was so focused on my elbow, and I go, I'm done. My career is done. I think I'm done with here. That's why I started crying. I'm not going to have another match. And that's why I was crying. And then you and I went to a restaurant. Remember us going to a restaurant and they had it blocked off or something. We can watch it. And
I called him ahead of time and said, I'm going to need my
that's
orange.
right.
You're
like, hey, do you know who I think I am?
Some egg rolls
put our
and a big
match
screen, bitches.
on the big screen and close it off. Velvet ropes and only the best champagne.
And some pot stickers and potato skins, you jackasses. Let's get this shit going.
All the
That's
bacon.
Yeah.
Give me that sour cream.
Yeah,
Honestly, I had a similar
everywhere.
I had a similar experience with that same doctor. I was crying in the back too, but it was because I found out he was married. So it was just, I mean,
right. All the girls would like get like when they get checked up on him, like by him. We were like,
oh, I'm hurt, doc. All the girls were hurt all the time. So
does it help if I take my top off? Yeah, he was very sexy. Oh my god, I can't. And honestly, even some of the girls that like I was always friendlier with like the announcer types, because that's what I was doing. And even like the most like demure ones were like, "Who is that?" I was like, "I know." It's not.
Oh, that's old hashtag hot doc.
Hashtag hot dog, yeah. He's our guest next week on GAWTV. You're welcome. Actually, he'd be a really funny guest. Jesus. Anyway. Okay.
We should.
I know. My God. Well, your accomplishments in wrestling, everyone knows. Everyone's so proud of you. You have so many things to be proud of, but you being a mom and your personal stuff that you shared with us, and honestly, and again, a big thank you to everyone that watches GAWTV.
Yeah,
it's a very personal show, and we've shared so many things. And you guys, both of you, Lisa and Mickie, have been so candid, and it means a lot that you would share that part of your life, because that I know that's your heart. So thank you for sharing that with us. And Lisa, by the way, Lisa, please promise me before we go that when we do your birthday episode in February, we want to do Lisa's greatest hits as well, because we
no. I like the games. I like the games. No.
We're doing it, Lisa. But Mickie, honestly, this is your birthday.
We love you, Mickie. Happy birthday.
We love you so much. It's airing on your birthday. How wonderful and
wonderful is that?
And guess what? And tell Baby D, choo choo train a chugging down the track,
gotta chug along, never coming back. Choo choo.
There's a one-way ticket to the blues. Okay.
Mickie, we love you. We love you. We love Nick. We love Baby D. Cheers to you. We'll see you in Florida very soon. Mwah. Cheers, everybody.
Sis.
Mickey's greatest hits. They're gonna keep on coming. Just so you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Prepared. Cheers, everybody.
Over prepared.
That's it.
This is the word to go, y'all.